So we're in another portion of Buckeye. This is, again, a little more rural. I got on the 10 and went about 5 miles west of the Viragor neighborhood that I was in, that we just toured through, and you can see this is still very undeveloped. And that seems to be the common theme, but Buckeye looks to be pretty widespread. So, you know, that plan, that 10-year plan that I mentioned, that I've read a couple of articles about, makes sense. They've got the land and space to really build up. They just need something to draw people out here without having to drive back an hour to an hour and a half, depending on where they're going, to the downtown or East Valley. And also typical of a lot of the valley, you'll see this down in Gilbert and Santan Valley area. Southern Chandler's starting to max out a bit, but farm, new development. You're seeing a lot of the farm get bought out, and then they just slap up, you know, a couple hundred homes like that, and the next thing you know, you've got a pretty populous area for what used to be pretty country or pretty rural, whatever you want to call it. And that seems to be the case for what's going on out here in Buckeye. And again, another set of mountains. This is on the southern side of Buckeye. The neighborhood we just passed is called Rancho Vista, if you're trying to keep track. And I'm on South Miller Road right now. You got an O'Reilly, so you know the amenities are here. The crime rating, according to Area Vibe, was an A+, meaning that there's next to no crime or nothing of crime to be concerned about. That doesn't mean crime doesn't happen. It just means there's nothing that you got to worry about. Frankly, their livability score on Area Vibe was a 71%. And the reason it got a 71% is because Area Vibe gave their schools a flat-out F. So I told you, great schools ratings, Area Vibe says they're an F. Otherwise, you know, their amenities, I think it was a B+. So there's definitely things around to do. And you can still kind of, if you're looking for the country feel, at least for now, you can still kind of have a little bit of country feel. I don't think that that's going to survive, though. I think within a decade to 2 decades, you're going to see this all be fairly populous. A lot of Californians are coming to the valley now because their buying power goes a lot further than it does in anywhere in California. And again, we get another little neighborhood popping up here. You got a Walgreens on the left. Looks like a little shopping center behind that. I can't see this. Alright, so yeah. There's a Domino's, a Nails place. Looks like a couple other restaurants in there. This is Miller Park neighborhood over here on the right. Small little neighborhood. Looks like it's just being built up. And you see builder signs again. Grace Fellowship Church. So you got a church here to anchor. And it's a little bit of, you know, dead space that looks like it hasn't been developed, but it's probably earmarked. And then another neighborhood coming up. So again, you're seeing the change of Buckeye. I would have to guess if you came out here 10 years ago, this would not be nearly what it is that we're seeing right now. This is Blue Hills. And again, we're on South Miller, or North Miller Road now. I'm going to guess like this neighborhood over here is probably more authentic to what was here for Buckeye. This is probably some of the original building homes. And then on that side is new construction. I bet money on that fact. What we got over here? Something Ranch. Oh, that's apartments. Chola Ranch apartments. Alright, so I was right, and I know I was right because there's the sign for Historic Buckeye, and it says straight ahead, so I guarantee those houses were here. So this is what Buckeye grew up on right here. We're coming into Historic Buckeye. Not a lot to Historic Buckeye, is there? Alright, we're going to be turning up here on Monroe Avenue. You got Dollar City, Garden City, a couple of other small businesses. Got some older homes back in there. I will say I like the small town signage that they're doing. That's kind of neat. The post office right on the corner. That's probably been redone. Wild West Cowboy Steakhouse. It's open 24 hours. Oh, nope. I don't know what that is. It's an insurance building. Well, there was supposed to be a museum, Buckeye Valley Museum, right around here, but it looks like it's gone. Huh. It was supposed to be right here on the left, but I don't see it anywhere. You do have an old marketplace, farm marketplace, but this would be historic Buckeye right here, what we're driving through right now. You got a fashion store. This is definitely old town Buckeye. Kind of unique. I don't know that I would want to live in this area. I think I would rather go back to that neighborhood we saw. Okay, well, it's a shame that that museum's not there. So it's an interesting mix here. You got some U-Haul right here, and then you've got residential right across the street and right behind it. Yeah, like I said, I don't know that I'd want to live in this part of Buckeye. It looks like it's in desperate need of some updates. But this is what it started as, so it's always nice to see where you began. And I mentioned the Buckeye Valley Museum. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out where that actually is, because according to my GPS, it was supposed to be where I was. And another fire department, and it looks like this is probably that park I was telling you about, which is the Earl Edgar Recreational Facility, and that's 23 acres of park. And I said it's got, it says Craig Council Field. Let's see what the sign says to see if I'm in the right spot. It is. This is Earl Edgar Recreation Facility. So you've got some buildings over there that are going to give you basketball courts in these yellow buildings back behind the baseball and softball fields. There's a covered playground right in front of us. You see they've got the sunshade, which is typical for a lot of the valley, to keep the kids out of the heat so they can still get around and play on that type of stuff. So we just left Earl Edgar, and now you see some Riverwood. Looks like apartments, I'm gonna guess, but it could potentially be a retirement community. And then on my right, I've got, it looks like LGI Homes. So we're gonna pull in here. This is Parkside. So we're gonna check this out. The building looks like it's a little further down, but I wanted to give you another neighborhood to see besides the first one that we saw that was clearly really nice, and then the second one, which was historic, which I didn't think was all that nice, and then this one, which is, you know, catty corner to that historic area. But this one is purely stucco buildings. I'm not seeing a lot of variety in here. Not bad homes. I'm not going to jump out and say that they're my favorite, but they're not bad homes. They're decent size. Again, a lot of solar. You see them up there. You see them on this one. This is all getting developed up right now as we speak. They're in the process of building it. And you can see that they've laid out some of the streetways, but there's no houses on them. That's in progress. So again, kind of backing what I was telling you, Buckeye's growing, and it's going to continue to grow, especially if they can bring in some anchors in that fashion. Kind of a cool little part of the canal system that is for the state of Arizona, run by SRP. Anyways, we're going to head out of Buckeye now and call this a day. I think I've shown some pretty good variety of Buckeye and shown you that there's a lot of possibility here and a lot of disparity between the tale of two Buckeyes. I hope you enjoyed the visit, and you know the drill. Subscribe, share, like, comments down below. Tell us where you want us to go next. Otherwise, take care and check back for that next video.